Interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. It's International Museum Day, Tone. What's your favorite museum?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. It used to be the Louvre, but I haven't been back since we helped ourselves to those crown jewels. Up top. Yeah.
And those been fenced fully?
Not fully.
Not fully, okay.
Not fully.
Some stash held back, okay. No. It is the Louvre. It's the Louvre for me.
Is it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the Mona Lisa when you were there?
It's
you
tiny.
Stand online. It's this big.
It's this big.
It's this
big.
big.
Postage stamp, people.
It's one of the big surprises of my life, how small it is. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Cavs trounce the Pistons, the Canadiens and Sabres go to Game 7, and Aaron Rye wins the PGA Championship. But we begin today with the San Antonio Spurs taking on the defending NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, beginning in about 3 hours in Oklahoma City. Over the weekend, the Spurs crushed the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minnesota by 30 points to get to this series. Oklahoma City has been resting for the last full week after sweeping the Lakers. Wilbon, do you give the Spurs a big chance, a little chance, or no chance to win this series?
I give them a big chance. I can't wait for this series to start. I give them a big chance, not as big a chance as you.
That's right.
Let me give you some credit. First thing to start out Monday. You said at the beginning of the playoffs, Cavaliers, Spurs.
That's right.
You're still alive.
I'm still alive.
You may be the only person that has that combination.
I'm still alive, yeah.
But you're alive. Good, well done. They got a big chance. Wembanyama's that good, and the team is that good, and you know my reservation is that before anyone ascends fully, they have to have heartache.
That's right.
They have to have despair.
I'll get to that.
But Wembanyama and Harper is coming along, and Castle's already along. Castle, to me, is going to be the new SGA at some point. I really mean that. And while I'm picking Oklahoma City, and I think Oklahoma City is great and may be included with the great teams of forever vintage, I'm going to go with Oklahoma City, but narrowly.
So I'm going to pick San Antonio.
I know, I can't even
as you know,
with
for
this.
the last 3 months or so, I've told you I think that they are going to win the NBA championship. Oklahoma City, I think they're right there with Oklahoma City. The decisive point for me is that they beat Oklahoma City 4 out of 5 times in the regular season. Let me consult my notes here. I know that you like to say that heartache is necessary before one ascends.
Despair.
And my reaction to that is, why is that true for a young team? Did you know that Oklahoma City is the 3rd youngest team even now in the league, younger than San Antonio?
But they had that moment of despair, which helped propel them.
I'm just going to say to you that I don't necessarily believe that, because in this point, San Antonio is older than they are, and they don't have to lose to a younger team. San Antonio, those 4 games, let me give you the numbers on those 4 games. 111, 130, 117, and 116 in those 4 wins.
Yeah.
That's an average of 119 points. Oklahoma City, including those games, only gave up 108 points per game, 2nd in the league. San Antonio owned them, Mike. They owned them this year.
Tony,
maybe that's a harbinger of something to come. Now, I agree.
I just think it's to come like next year.
Okay, maybe. But Wembanyama makes a difference, as you've said. Wembanyama makes a difference. He's going to go up against a guy not as tall as he is, a young guy drafted the year before, and I think everybody wants to see Holmgren and Wembanyama. I think
they like each other.
I think they want to see that.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm just going to remind you of something. You've covered the league even
time.
longer than me. You sat in those locker rooms and watched despair in many of those cases I described.
But I don't think
But you think these guys are going to skip the step?
I don't think it's an automatic. You know, I don't. I know you base everything on Michael Jordan's career.
No,
Michael Jordan
had despair.
Okay.
Shaq and Kobe had despair. The only 3 people who had no despair:
Magic
Russell,
Johnson,
Magic, Duncan.
Yeah, no despair.
That's it.
So
everybody else.
That's the exception to your rule, but 3 exceptions is a lot. Let's stay with the NBA. Let's move to Cleveland, routing Detroit last night in Detroit by 31 points to win that series and get to face the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. The road teams won the last 3 games of this series. The Pistons had won 4 straight elimination games over Orlando and Cleveland, but they didn't win this one. Wilbon, what was the word for this game?
Futuristic. There's a trend. I'm thinking about the margin more than the result. The margin, which is, you and I talked about this in your podcast this morning.
I'm going to talk about
that
this now.
game,
yeah.
But the 3 games at the end and other series having these kinds of games.
Yeah.
And Tony, I think it's mostly because of the 3-point shot. maybe not entirely. This is why Steve Kerr has to be listened to. Steve Kerr is the smartest man in basketball. Because a three-point shot, you go on a 4-basket run, and it used to not kill you. What it does now is it sends the other team into desperation, and it sends them into some frenzy that then makes an 11-point lead 19 and makes it 24, and there's no recovery. So it's weird. But Cleveland, and again, giving you credit, Cleveland's a better team. What I wonder about Cleveland is, why aren't you people better? Not to be that good as last night, but you got stars, you got vets, you got youth, you got size, Mobley and Allen.
You said the same thing about Orlando. Why aren't you people better?
Yes.
Because this is when it pays off. The playoffs is when it pays off.
Okay, but they should be better in the play. I don't even think they should be in these sevens. Allen, by the way, has played really well. Allen and Mobley.
They're big guys.
But you know what? As much as we talk about the spectacular guards, and they are. They can put up 50 on you.
Yeah, that's right.
Those two guys, when they play with force like they did against Detroit when necessary, they can give the Knicks some problems. They got to deal with Cat.
I'm going to come off your point here.
Okay.
I am very disappointed in the playoffs. It's like 75% of the games are routes. I have some numbers here. This series was weird because the road team won the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Here is Cleveland. Haven't won a road game in the entire playoffs. Lost 3 in Toronto, lost 2 in Detroit. They win game 5. They come home to clinch. They get beat by 21.
7. Yeah.
And then they go back out on the road and they win by 31 points, right? That was crazy. You could turn off the TV in the fourth quarter in both of those games. Cleveland was up by 26 points going into the fourth quarter. All right, let me get to these things. I'm struggling to remember 2 games in a row that were close, that had drama. The Knicks were plus 152 in 8 wins. Oklahoma City plus 105 in 8 wins. Just recently, San Antonio plus 104 in 4 wins.
Okay, so don't you, having covered decades of this,
I think it's the 3.
Yeah.
I do. I think
it's fascinating, even if it's not dramatic. It's an interesting study.
You want drama in the playoffs.
You do.
So it's not working for me, these routes. Am I awed sometimes by the runs they go on? Yeah. But when you get to the fourth quarter and you can switch to another sport, that's not the way it's supposed to happen. No. It's just not.
I'm giving you one more chance here.
Well, I wanted to give you my word. Can I just give you my word?
What's your word?
My word on a personal level is gratifying because I had them the whole way. Yeah. And on a viewership level, my word is disappointing for the reasons that I've stated.
Yeah. Tonight close? Game 1?
No.
In Oklahoma City?
No. This is the one game. Oklahoma City better win this game. Better win this one because the other team's capable of knocking them out.
I can't wait for this series. I can't.
And I also don't believe in that rest thing. I think both the Knicks and the Thunder are rested. They're ready to go.
They'll be fine.
They're championship type teams. They're ready to go.
Okay. All right. And now to golf. And Aaron Rai winning the PGA Championship at Aronimink. Rai shot a 5 under 65 on Sunday, including a title-sealing 68-foot birdie putt on 17. Bomb.
Yep.
To finish 3 strokes ahead of John Rahm and Alex Smalley. Rai is not one of the bigger names on tour, of course, but Rory McIlroy said, and I quote, "You won't find one person on the property who's not happy for him." Close quote. Tone, what do you make of who won it and who did not?
Some golf tournaments are won and some golf tournaments are lost. Nobody lost the PGA. Aaron Rai won the PGA.
Agreed, totally agree.
Aaron Rai was 4 under on the back 9 yesterday, the harder 9 of the 2. At 9, he had an eagle. So he was -6 in the last 10 holes on a major on a Sunday. He won that tournament. Scottie Scheffler could not putt on the weekend. Jon Rahm could not putt yesterday. Rory McIlroy kept hitting drivers off the fairway into the spinach.
A fairway.
Into the spinach. He was even on the par 5s all week.
Was he 0 for 12 on fairways attempted yesterday with a driver? I think he was.
It would not surprise me.
I think he was 0 for 12.
When you hit it as long as he does and you're not under par on the par 5s, that's how you lose a tournament. And then Smalley and McNeely and Schmidt, they didn't put any pressure on Rai. Yeah. Aaron Rai won the tournament.
He did, Tony. And the reason why I like this, we talked about this Friday, why I don't anticipate storylines. The event will tell me what the storylines are. And Rai, who's a guy, you and I talked about this on the phone yesterday during live time, tied for 19 a couple of times. He's
Best he ever
around.
did.
We knew who he was.
290 to 1.
But he wasn't like some threat.
No.
You didn't think he was going to be a threat.
290 to 1.
I know, but I like the fact, and the PGA, which has produced 10 famous champions in the last 10,
used to have
that's right, events like this, where somebody that you sort of knew and you before Google and you had to do some research and find out who it was would win the PGA championship. I don't. Who knows whether Rye is going to even show for the next 2 majors, the 2 remaining, or next year or beyond.
Let's get to that.
It doesn't matter to me.
That putt on 17, that long 60-foot putt.
That's a forever.
That was reminiscent of J.J. Spawn last year at the U.S. Open at Oakmont. And I bring up Spawn because we don't know if Spawn's ever going to win another major.
No.
There are a lot of guys who don't. I'll just give you a partial list here of people you will know. Danny Willett, Sean McKeel, Rich Beam, Michael Campbell.
They won one.
They got that one win.
Yeah.
Maybe this is Rye because Rye doesn't hit the ball long off the tee. And nobody thought he was a good putter until the last 3 or 4 days. Right, so this could be him too. But the important thing is he won this thing. Nobody dropped it off in his lap.
It wasn't some choke-a-thon. And the fact that Rory and Rahm were guys he finished ahead.
And Scheffler.
Number
1 in the world.
Lifetime highlight. If he doesn't do anything else, he's got this one.
Yeah.
There are people who don't have one.
There are pictures of him holding the cup, okay? Let's take a break. Coming up, do the Canadiens or the Sabres have the edge in tonight's Game 7?
And the Phillies are 15-4 under Don Mattingly, but are we sure the Phillies are good?
We didn't mention the fact that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won the MVP, and you voted for him. Have the Canadiens or the Sabres the edge in tonight's Game 7?
You know what? You know what, Tony? Home ice does not mean all that much. We've seen so many teams lose, a Game 5 and a Game 7. It's like the NBA. It used to be 90+%, and now both those sports, it's falling off in the last 10 to 12 years. And I don't know what to think about the goaltending. The goaltending has been iffy. What we're used to is some team emerging and having even a relatively unknown goaltender go nuts and just dominate the postseason. We're not seeing that either. We're seeing coaches go to goaltender changes in the middle of a series, like to me is relatively unprecedented. I think Buffalo seems to have been the story this year. They seem to have some magic dust surrounding them. I'm not rooting against them. I'm just rooting for Montreal, but I'd say Buffalo.
Yeah. I'm going to say Buffalo because of the home ice, and I'm going to be very specific as to why I'm wrong when I say that. On an overall standpoint, I'm right, because in the history of Game 7s in NHL play, it's 118 to 84 where the home team wins. But, and here's the big but that you are alluding to, we have already seen the Canadiens this year go 5-2 on the road.
Yeah.
We've already seen them on the road win a Game 7 in Tampa. And Buffalo's 2-4 at home. So everything I'm saying sounds foolish as it gets out of my mouth. But Mike, I cannot root against a team from upstate New York. When I went to Binghamton in upstate New York, I can't do it.
That's why I said they seem to have some magic dust, like it's their year. But Montreal, you point to the 5-2 record, 5-2
on the road.
I mean, that's a big deal. And having already won a Game 7, all bets are off.
I am very scared specifically of what you alluded to, the Cleveland-Detroit series, where the last 3 games, road teams won. In this series, the last 3 games, the road teams have won.
Predictable.
The last 3. So I'm an idiot, and that's not new.
Game 7 and a Game 1 tonight. Appealing, both of them. Compelling. Phillies. Have the Phillies sold you on their turnaround?
Okay, so let's understand there is recent history here, right? With this Phillies team. 4 years ago, your Northwestern boy, Joe Girardi, was canned when he opened up 22-29. They went to Rob Thompson, who then started 14-2, and that team made the World Series. Now Rob Thompson opens up 9-19, and they go to Don Mattingly. And Don Mattingly is 15-4 at the moment. They just put 5 runs on Paul Skeens. That's the most runs he's ever given up, tied for the most ever. Now, let me be realistic here. They are not going to catch Atlanta in the division.
What are they, 9 games behind Atlanta right now?
They're a lot right now. They also, the teams they've beaten lately are under 500 collectively. I think it's
Homecoming
446.
opponents, yeah.
And they have, next month, it's a much harder schedule. But, Mike, they're only 3.5 out of the wild card with 115 left to play. And your boy who lived in your apartment building, that guy's got 8,000 home runs already.
This is tough for me because, you know, I've now come to hate all Philly teams.
You got to stop that.
Don't
hate the University of Pennsylvania.
I'm not going to hate them.
Thank you.
Just because they sold their seats to the New Yorkers who went in there and gangstered them.
That's right. Well,
the Knicks people went in there and said, Philly, you think you're tough? You know, you and Rocky have some of this.
Right.
And the Knicks just gangstered them and they did nothing about it. And the Philly people rolled over like dogs. And so now I love Schwarber. He may be, outside of anybody on the Cubs roster right now, my favorite player in all of Major League Baseball. And he looks Ruthian.
Yep.
He is on a pace to hit 70. Yeah. I love Schwarber.
You gotta love Mattingly.
But I
do love Mattingly. You gotta love Mattingly.
But you know what? I want the Phillies to lose every damn game. So no, they've convinced me of nothing.
So I've come to be in the studio with you in your heart of anger today about Philadelphia, which you rail against all the time.
Yeah, I do.
We're going to have to go for cheesesteaks. That's enough email. Let's take one last break. Still to come, Napoleon Solo takes the Preakness. Could that set up a big finale at the Belmont?
And is the NFL smart to start the season with a rematch of the Super Bowl? So if I want to stay in the Rittenhouse and have cheesesteaks, they'll let me?
Oh, yeah.
I love the Rittenhouse.
I'll go in with you. I'll go in with you. You know.
It's the fans, not the city. But that's who they are. It's who they are.
But you're yelling at the city.
Good. Well, okay.
Ben Franklin hit 3 home runs off 3 different Dodger pitchers in a World Series game at Yankee Stadium. Reggie won 5 World Series with the Oakland A's and the Yankees. He was Series MVP twice, American MVP, American League MVP once, and a 14-time All-Star. I did not like Billy Martin, and I love Reggie Jackson. When I was a sports writer, Reggie was the best locker room interview in baseball. One time, Reggie and I drove across Florida in his Rolls Royce for a story I was doing for the New York Times. I asked if I could sit in the back seat so it would look like he was my chauffeur. And he said, "You sit in the front with me." Jim Palmer, a smart guy, once called Reggie a character out of Dostoevsky.
I was covering baseball, a youngster covering baseball at the end of Reggie's career at the California Angels. And he was so charismatic, intimidating, yet charming. Who's like Reggie Jackson now? Seriously.
I don't know.
We're going old man again.
Don't know.
But Reggie,
well,
come on now.
We are old men.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary, Phillies. Around this day 47 years ago, the Phillies beat the Cubs in Wrigley 23-22. In extra innings, no less, in the highest scoring game in modern Major League Baseball history. The Phillies got 7 runs in the top of the first. The Cubs came right back with 6. The starting pitchers, Dennis Lamb for the Cubs and Randy Lurch for Philadelphia, lasted only 1/3 of an inning each. By the 4th, the Phillies were up 17-6, but the Cubs scored 13 runs in the next 3 innings. By the bottom of the 8th, it was 22-22. Mike Schmidt then hit his 2nd homer of the game, this one off Bruce Sutter to win it in the 10th Hall of Famers. There were 50 hits and 11 home runs. Dave Kingman had 3. Bill Buckner had 7 RBI and only 14,952 people watched it. Did you?
Yeah, I watched it on television. This was a time before Harry Carey and